Alright guys, we're back for yet another Bleach Brave Souls video, and it is now time to update yet again our monthly tier list. We have gotten enough characters to pretty much update all 5 attributes, and so we will start doing so right now. That being said, speed is the only attribute this time around that did not receive any new character nor resurrection, so I figure we may as well go ahead and update the list. And I gotta be honest with you guys, there's not really much that I want to make a change of besides bumping down Nelio, because I'm not gonna lie, her DPS output, it's still good everywhere else that you use her. In Guild Quest, however, I'm definitely gonna be honest, it's lacking. I'm going to be real here, so at the bare minimum, I'm just gonna put her off of S and bump her down to like bottom A. I want to say right here, to be honest, with the rest of the Guild Quest normal attacking characters. Yeah, seems about right, because there's nothing that we really need to add or do anything, so we'll just be updating mainly power, technique, art, and mind today. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and start off with the power attribute, because for power we got 2 new characters and 2 new resurrections that we do need to update. And the first ones are pretty much going to be obviously the new Magic Society Asnot and of course Ururu. So going over Asnot real quick, I'm just going to pull up the game because we do not have access to BBS Simulator at the moment with the new updated assets. This guy is another normal attacking character made for Guild Quest in specific. However, he is the very first ever character to come with 2 strong attacks in which he boosts and debuffs. No EX move to use like any other given SP character where they do the same thing. The good thing about this character is that he is going to have a very consistent AI and focus on normal attacks after using his strong attacks, meaning that this guy is going to be just as consistent and gremmy, and I found his support to be just as amazing as him. You're still getting a 43% boost value from the SA2. The debuff is still by 33%, so you'll be able to do more damage in a given wave, be able to one-shot the first wave a lot more with ease. And this guy, well, pretty much has a high bruiser, 150% bruiser in total, has the same Guild Quest skills of Flurry 1, Flurry 2 in Guild Quest, with Booster, Diminisher, and Quick Stelman chance, the same typical stuff. Unfortunately, no Flurry 2 outside of Guild Quest. Who knows when we'll get to that point where Flurry plus 2 will get standardized everywhere else and we start getting Flurry 3 in Guild Quest. It'll be a matter of time until then, but still, I think that this character warrants, in my opinion, to be high among the ranks in terms of what this guy can provide. He is an insane supporting character, and with that, I'm probably gonna put this guy into S right alongside this Christmas Nemu. I do deem his value to be very, very good. I used this guy in the likes of Ranged No Affiliation Guild Quest with Holo Bankai Toshiro, and I was actually able to improve even more compared to using Christmas Gremmy, which means he's that much of an effective character. Obviously, everywhere else, he's gonna play just like your typical normal attacking character, and of course in epic raids, this Nemu is going to be a lot better. It's just that he's gonna be providing a lot more, if you guys know what I mean. It's not just damage at play here. It's what he brings to the table to make things a lot better, and I do value this guy to be very good. Now, up next, we do have the new Karakurizer Ururu, and finally we have gotten ourselves an Ururu after a very long time, and this time around, she is the farmer of the new mid-month banner that we just got not too long ago, and she comes with a really nice soul trait of being able to provide link slot potions of +5 and a droplet drop of 17%, making any given character a semi-farmer and can be a really good soul trait for when it comes to bringing units into epic raids. If you guys still need to farm link slot potions and droplets simultaneously, this definitely has value. But guess what? This character also does come armed with a lot more stuff outside of just being a farmer, because just take a look at this. This is a mini power buffer for any given power character. So if you're missing, I don't know, Mashiro for being able to buff Senjumaru, right? And considering Parasol Shinji doesn't have access to too many buffers, you can use this Ururu as a side unit and provide a lot more damage, because what this character does is that she gives out 20% power attribute character strong attack damage of 20%. It's essentially the Mugetsu link as a skill, and besides that, also 30% more damage to element affected enemies per power character. And Senjumaru can take advantage of this skill set right here and be cooking even harder. And on top of it, also, she does give out 30% more special move damage to power characters, making nukes a little bit stronger in guild quests to the point that you might even be able to kill off the mini mobs, which are normally the tankier ones. Of course, given the fact that you do have the main line unit at 5, because that's when you'll be able to do a little bit more damage. But besides that, yeah, good support character. But besides that, for main DPS, she isn't really all that much at the end of the day. She just has Frenzy 2 with a 40% Berserker, and I believe that, yeah, she does have 60% more damage to lacerated enemies. Fun enough, she doesn't have the increased ailment chance as I thought, but besides that, this character is just a farmer and a supporting character. So, like, you're not really using this character for damage. You're just using this character just for what she brings to the table, being able to farm, and of course being able to provide more damage to any given power character. So with that in mind, I don't think she's worthy of going into S, but at the bare minimum, we should put her like around the top of A with what this character can do. I'm feeling maybe around here with it, honestly. The one thing is that she cannot really farm super potions, but that's completely fine. At the end of the day, you're only farming super potions when it comes to link slot trials, and epic grades, they're still not farmable yet. So for now, I'm just placing her here on the tier list. She isn't really anything crazy, mega broken, or anything of that kind of sort, but she is still a pretty good character to use. It's just, she's not a meta-defining unit that you would use among this tier between SS and S. So, but yeah, that's it for the new characters. But now we do have 2 new resurrections to take into consideration, and we have none other than Bankai Shinji right here in the Machine Society Yoruichi that I have down here in B rank. Now, going over Machine Society Yoruichi, now I'm gonna be honest, she didn't exactly get the greatest upgrades. Now, the soul trait, she did pick up damage to burning enemies of 20%, so on characters like Basby, you can definitely benefit from this type of soul trait in particular. It's not a bad one to say the least, but it's still better to have permanent damage like full stamina damage boost, full stamina strong attack damage. You guys get the point. But besides that, her sprinter got moved into the innate abilities. She picked up poison resistance for whatever reason. She already had the read dodge already against Holo, so nothing new there. The Berserker did get increased by a good 70%, which isn't bad by any means whatsoever, and she also picked up a 30% additional strong attack damage at full stamina. So this character now has like around 100% strong attack damage, which is pretty interesting to know. And she does boost on the SA2, so you'll be able to get a little bit more focus. It's just that you don't really get to inflict status summons with the SA2, and you do have a really long cooldown on top of that. And besides that, she also picked up Guard Break, which I believe she didn't have through the skills. You guys are free to correct me in the comment section below. That being said, no booster, which is, in my opinion, a bit of a letdown, no increased ailment chance. But besides that, I would say that it's a pretty solid resurrection for what she got. Getting a good damage upgrade and getting Guard Break, I think it's not too bad when you take a look at everything else. So where am I going to rank this Yoruichi right here? Well, I'm definitely feeling that she should be a little higher than where she is in B, so I would probably put her at like high B, more than likely. It's kind of in the same range as 5th Anniversary Ichigo and the Fierce Battle Ulquiorra, so I want to say a bit... I guess it doesn't really matter too much at the end of the day, huh? Probably behind 5th Anniversary Ichigo when you take a look at everything else that this character does, so yeah, we'll just leave her here. And now up next we have Can't Fear Your Own World Shinji to update and see where to evaluate the character. Now his resurrection is really good. It's just that it's far from being perfect because he is just missing a couple of things to make him, in my opinion, the perfect resurrection. So for starters, with the soul trait, he did pick up full stamina strong attack damage of 22%, the first of its kind. I was hoping that we would be able to work through the soul traits via the 3rd page of the attribute tree, but that doesn't seem the case. Maybe on page 4 onwards we'll be able to do so, but still really good soul trait nonetheless. Spurn +1 got moved into the innate ability similar to Yoruichi, and he did pick up Guard Break with Weaken Immunity. Now Weaken Immunity is kind of a waste since you're not really using this character in the likes of Guild Quest, but everything else is a very nice upgrade because he picked up 50% more strong attack damage. He used to have it at 20, so it's a 30% increase, and besides also getting the soul trait, which gives out 22% more damage, you guys already know that this is pretty good. And he also picked up the increased element chance against Technique Attribute Soul Reapers, meaning that it's going to be even easier to get the damage to confused enemies. And besides that, the skill itself also got a 10% increase with what he can do. Which, funny enough, this guy is already, if you're up against Killer, somewhat better than Lige when you take a look at everything else, and he has the same kit as him. He also picked up Devastation, so his nuke is a little bit stronger, not that it matters too much with how content is, but it's just that he's missing the SP boost, and the increased element chance, it would have been a lot better if it were against every single tech attribute enemy rather than just being relegated to Killer. But besides that, nonetheless, I think that it's a pretty good upgrade. And where would I rank Shinji right now? I think that this is the one time I can finally rank a resurrection outside of B tier because I find his upgrades to be better than 5th Anniversary Ichigo and Ulquiorra. And I think I can now safely put him in A rank, right above Lige, maybe even. I think it probably fits, seeing as they both share the same killer, same kit, and whatnot, and you just do a lot more damage. If you give this guy the Masaki link, he's gonna cook even harder. So there's that to take into consideration. I think that he's worthy of at least being in A rank now with what he got with his resurrection. I really do like it. It just needs the SP boost. That's literally it. But yeah, I think we're done with ranking power. There's nothing else that we need to do. Maybe, although I would probably rank Ulquiorra a little bit down because I'm not gonna lie, against the extra waves, with his performance in Guild Quest, he did not feel too good. He needs normal attacking characters in the case of this Nemu right here. So with that being said, I would probably lower him down to like bottom S. I don't think I should put him in A because this guy can still work in Guild Quest and put in numbers. But besides that, he is definitely seeing a bit of flaws with what this guy can do. And then SS, I don't know if I should make any change, but maybe lower down Mugetsu because while he is great with his link, I'll definitely say, with how his performance is in Guild Quest and in Limit Breaker, I would probably put him underneath Soifun once more. Like, I'm literally starting to feel the impact that this guy has with the lack of Debilitator and everything else. It's kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. So for now, I'll put him underneath Soifun for the time being. Now, I want to see how she does with the extra waves too, but I think she should be fine regardless. And Denjumaro being at the top for power, I think it fits the role just nicely because she just does everything that she wants to do. Like, no problem whatsoever with what this character can do. Now, up next, we have the Mind attribute, and with this, we have one new character and one new resurrection to update here. And let's start it off with Giselle. Now, Giselle, in my opinion, is amazing. When you look at what this character can do, Giselle is what Parasol Shinji should have been, if you guys ask me. A character that is fantastic in Limit Breaker Quest, but can still work as effectively in Guild Quest, because if you do not have the likes of a max transcended Unohana, True Shikai, with the likes of support buffs like Tenjiro, Christmas Gremmy, this is the character that can work. It's fine. If you do not have Basby, this character still works just fine. And if you want to bring an SP side unit like True Shikai, these two characters will be able to work effectively, and you'll be able to get 50 seconds remaining in the likes of Melee Soul Reaper Guild Quest. What makes Giselle so good? Giselle has Soul Reaper Killer Plus with 14% recharge time, which is really good. Dominate Plus, now I'm gonna be honest, I hate the Dominate status element in Guild Quest because it just makes runs a lot more annoying with how bosses run around, and sometimes when it comes to attacking with the strong attacks. I'm not a fan of the status element itself. I think I would have preferred anything else over this type of status element, but that's just a me thing. But yeah, has a good kit, has a suction vortex on the SA1, has a SA2 lunge like True Shikai, and a full screen 1200 radius SA3, and has a really good EX move which has, I believe, a 30 to 40% chance of being able to inflict Dominate. This is the type of strong attack that you would want to use before nuking with this character, just to get the mobs damaged, dominated, and then, you know, use the Soul Bomb, and then just kill off everyone with one of your strong attacks. But besides that, Sprint plus 1, Havoc of 20, Marauder, and the skill set is exactly the same as the Tech Giselle. Only difference is that this one does not have Bruiser. Just the perfect skill set, realistically speaking. 80% Berserker. Team Party increased mind character strong attack damage of 20%. Would have preferred if this was for like Stern Ritters. Weaken immunity, Frenzy 2, Bombardment, Debilitator, increased damage chance against Soul Reapers. Increased damage to status element affected enemies by 30%. Has a bit of like 9th Annie Grammy skill and damage to dominated enemies 100%. Weaken defense and 80% SP boost. Other than that, very good character, and this is a very easy SS placement. Now, unfortunately, these mind characters are not that good to get their own SSS, because the reason why for speed, power, and tech I even have these placements right here is because they're all characters that excel in every single game mode. And I'm talking about being able to get the highest of the high scores in Guild Quest while also still being amazing in the likes of Limit Breaker Quest and every single other game mode. Excel better than the Guild Quest leads and excel better than the characters designed for Limit Breaker Quest in that kind of sense. And Ishin is a guy that is made for Limit Breaker Quest. Still does well. In GQ, he is great, just not better than the likes of Ichigo for that kind of sense. But this guy, he can still get like 52 seconds in. And oops, did I place Candace here? I'll be adjusting her placement in a bit. But like, you guys get the point. He's still great to use. Now, Yuha, I'm gonna be honest. I know Tony, in his tier list, he actually did drop him to S, and I'm not gonna lie. With the fact that I used him in Burger Quest for the month of May, he did not feel good with the only one rule that he had. So yes, this guy, in my opinion, did indeed fall off with what he can do. And in Guild Quest, obviously, he needs to be carried by actual normal attacking characters. It's not even funny. So with that being said, I think I probably want to bump him down to like top of S at the bare minimum. That's where I would want to place this character right here, because he just doesn't feel as good as he once used to be, and now it's like, yeah, there's definitely an issue when it comes to using this character overall. He's unfortunately aged worse compared to the likes of Unohana, Bilge, and even True Shikai, as a matter of fact. And then these two characters right here, Candace and Rukia, honestly, they're still doing really, really good, even in Guild Quest and outside of Guild Quest. They still perform just fine. So I'm gonna make an exception to the rule and actually start bumping up Rukia and Candace into SS, because I feel like they warrant it. In Candace, now that Asnot exists with being a better normal attacking character than the likes of both Ulquiorra and Christmas Nemu, I think that she deserves to be an SS. Now, we'll have to wait and see until then, but for now, I'm just gonna rank these characters a bit high for the time being. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I know Rukia is a bit of an odd pick because of the kit that she has. She is not really the craziest character to use because she does not boost on the SA2. So with that in mind, I'm just going to keep her in here. Let's just do that for the time being. And now, when it comes to resurrections, we did get one new resurrected character, which was the Can't Fear Your Own World Luffy. Where was he at? Yeah, right here. He's literally at the bottom of B. What did he get with his resurrection? Now, Luffy got himself a very good soul trait, which is full stamina damage boost of 18%. So he too got a good link like Shinji, and even his upgrades are actually pretty solid and are pretty much the same as Shinji. It's just that the one issue with this character is his kit. His kit unfortunately made him age pretty bad, and the type of increased element chance, you're almost never going to be able to use it in co-op content, and I think just in single player content you can literally make use of this type of skill right here. But besides that, same problem, no SP boost, but like his kit is even worse than Shinji. So like in terms of placing the character, I'll at least admit that he should at least go at the top of B. Bottom B is definitely no longer a place for this character, but at the bare minimum, let's put him somewhere around behind Hiko. I think that's it. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not giving this guy the A treatment, realistically speaking. I showcased him, he still felt very mediocre when it came to using Shinji, so yeah, not much to really do here, and that's pretty much it for when it comes to the mind attribute as a whole. I already made the adjustments with what we needed to do here. I think we can just go ahead and move on the next attribute. The next attribute is tech, and we also got ourselves 2 new characters as well as 1 new resurrection. So let's just go ahead and cover the new characters first. Starting off with the Magic Society Askin. He is Tech's newest farmer that we have gotten in the game by far. That being said, they kind of cucked him with the kit with what he can do. I did try him out in Guild Quest, and I'm gonna be honest, he sucked. He was not that good. You're still better off using the likes of 7th Anniversary Ichigo at Max Transcendence if you do not have access to the Tech Giselle, which is the very unfortunate thing. Besides that, does come armed with a very good soul trait of strong attack damage of 20 with a recharge of minus 12%. So double soul traits, double killers of Soul Reaper and Ronker, which is something that you don't normally see anymore on an SP character for good reasons, really, because Killer Plus is the meta. Has Poison Plus on the entire kit, no EX move, and he does have a mini defeated enemy bonus where on defeating 20 you get 20% Berserker, 40 Team Party, increased strong attack damage of 20%, you get access to the Mugetsu link. Anywho, this character is nothing but a farmer. Everything that you want to do with a farmer, and he's going to be effective in the likes of epic raids, link slot trials, single player content, you guys name it. He has Burn +1 Havoc and complete status immunity, 60% Berserker, super speed link slot potions of +10, speed link slot potions of +5, and speed droplet drop of 30%. So he farms everything that you would want out of a tech character, and you can farm for speed characters. So yeah, Frenzy 2, Debilitator +2 seconds, increased summon chance against speed attribute enemies, and once you inflict poison, you do 60% more damage to them, and you have Poise, Sharpshooter, hidden enemies, and Spiritual Pressure boost of 80%. Very good skill set. The kit, unfortunately, is a bit lackluster because he was given a very bad SA1, and he, at the end of the day, is nothing but a farmer. So with that in mind, I think we kind of know where to rank this guy with what he can do. Now, I'm definitely going to say he is better than Halibut, just because of the fact that he is resistant to all status elements, but like, the thing is about this character, it's that he's not that crazy broken or anything of that kind of sort. He was the sleeper of the banner, and he unfortunately is. So with that being said in stone, I'm just going to put him above Halibut, and that's it. I would love to put this guy in S, but it's like, you guys see the point here? Nothing too crazy, really. And now let's move on to the next character, which is going to be Cone. Now Cone, on the other hand, he too is a farmer. But this time around, we're talking about a farmer that mainly prioritizes in coins and crystals and jewels. So this is a very beginner-friendly character to have if you're lacking in coins and crystals and jewels. Because besides that, you're not really using this character for anything else. Because yeah, he gets Sprint +1, Havoc, Team Party, Stamina Recovery of 20%, and then if you take a look at everything else, he does have 20% increase technique character strong attack damage, which isn't bad. We'll get to Link, similar to Askin, once you defeat a set amount of enemies. 60% Berserker Devastation of 50%, and then has Team Party increased movement speed of 20%, 100% coin drop, 70% from the skill, and 30% from the soul trait. Increased crystal jewel drop of 50%, and then Frenzy +1. Frenzy +1 in 2025, it looks so goddamn weird, bro. But this guy is a coin farmer, crystal jewel drop farmer, so like, it doesn't matter if the character gets Frenzy 2, because at the end of the day, you're not using this character in Limit Breaker, you're not using this character in Guild Quest, so like, I don't think it really hurts what this guy's meant to do. He's gonna do his job just fine, but I would not really use this guy in Epic Grave. I mean, you guys can, because his DPS is okay, but it's like, nothing too crazy. Has guard break, plus hidden enemies, but like, in terms of where I want to rank this character, at the bare minimum, A rank is where he should go. So I'm gonna at least put him here. But like, bottom A is where he fits the role. He's, in my opinion, a lot worthless compared to Askin. Like, at least Askin, you'll be able to farm the 3 essentials that you need to work on your characters. Whereas this guy, it's crystals and jewels and coins. Yeah, just above Uryu. That's literally the cap, I'm gonna be honest, because Uryu's damage output, obviously, it isn't the greatest against the bosses, where at least Cone does damage. But besides that, you guys get the point, is where I would literally rank Cone. Like, he isn't anything too spectacular. Uryu at least has value, even though her DPS isn't anything too crazy, but Cone's isn't crazy either, but like, he doesn't really do much. And then lastly, the most recent character to get a resurrection from the tech attribute is going to be this Machine Society Nemu. Now, Machine Society Nemu was an amazing technique character upon coming out, where she came out at a time when tech was looking pretty bad in Snatch. What did she pick up on her upgrades? Now, the soul trait, she picked up something similar to the likes of Yoruichi, which is more damage to element affected enemies. I still prefer base damage, but like, it's not a bad link for Grammy, to say the least. That being said, already had a good kit. Sprint +1, freeze immunity, guard break. I'm pretty sure she did not have freeze resistance or guard break, so that's already new. Sprint +1 was moved. Her Berserker got a pretty good increase. It went up from 20% to 60%. This skill was already there, so nothing too different. Frenzy 1, double tear of +5 seconds. She already had the increased element chance against speed attribute hollows, and also had damage to paralyzed enemies added into one of her skill sets. So overall, 40% damage increase, which isn't bad, I'll definitely say. It's just, you guys are seeing the same problem with what this character has. Lack of SP boost. The increased element chance is only against hollows specifically, so like, fortunately, there's not really much you can make usage out of the skill set itself, but like, it's still not a bad resurrection. It's just, it's missing stuff. That's literally it. So when it comes to changing the ranking for Nemu, I'm gonna be honest. At the bare minimum, I'm going to put her like above Shojuro, right here. Top of V is where I can pretty much put her at max, or not that. Actually, you know, I'm making an exception to the rule like I did for Shinji. I'm gonna put her at least at bottom A. That's where I feel like she's going to work the best. Yeah, I think this is good to place the unit, realistically. Yeah, that's it for tech. Not much to really say. That being said, I do want to make some adjustments to the list itself and actually start bumping some characters up. Sun, I'm gonna be honest, I am liking her character a lot with what she does in Guild Quest. So, at the bare minimum, I would put her right above Shinji with what this character can do. Like, just the fact that she can get 50+ seconds at 1.5, it's just not even funny. It's just outside of Guild Quest, where I do feel like she is kind of lacking a bit just because of the no Berserker, but she does so well in that game mode itself. And Giselle, you know, this character is good in Limit Breaker Quest. In Guild Quest, it's a bit annoying to use the character, but like once you figure out what Giselle's pattern is, the character is pretty dominant to use. So there's that, and not much else really. I might eventually put Sun above Giselle. Let me know, because I'm liking what this character can do a lot for the likes of Guild Quest. And now, next up is going to be the Heart attribute. No new characters this time around, but we did get 2 characters in particular to get resurrected. And this time around, it was none other than Can't Fear Your Own Road Grimmjow and Mashiro. Let's start off with Grimmjow, because I feel like he needs a little bit of talking. Grimmjow got a really good soul trait of damage reduction of 20% with attack damage of 16%, so you guys know the drill. It's a really good soul trait for any given PvP character. But besides that, he also got a pretty good resurrection. I just wish that, you know, he actually had a bit of GQ stuff into him, but he still picked up long reach of 20%. More normal attack damage when at full stam. ER against Soul Reapers, I think it's kind of wasted, but he did pick up 20% more character normal attack damage. The Bruiser went up 50, besides the 16% increase from the Soul trait. This is still here, which should have been replaced by something else. And he also did get Star Bearer of +5, meaning this guy being able to keep his extra normal attack damage at full stam. So, like, really good upgrade, nothing to really take note of. Now, when it comes to ranking the character to, I want to say top of B, because at the end of the day, Grimmjow performs pretty similarly to Masaki, just that he doesn't really boost, so like there's a bit less value to have, but like you can still use this normal attacking character if you do not have any other good alternatives to use in place of like Christmas Remy or Melee Soul Reaper. There's that. Other than that, not bad in terms of resurrection. And then lastly, we do have to talk about Mashiro. Oh, he's right here. I ranked her in C. But besides that, her upgrades are interesting because she got Droplet Drop of 24% while giving more strong attack damage. Now, if it were a recharge, I think it would have been 10 times better, if you guys ask me. It would have been better. Besides that, she did get Guard Break among the new innate abilities, and Sprint +1 got moved for whatever reason. Same damage upgrade as Yoruichi, and her Droplet Drop also saw a bit of an upgrade, so like she'll be able to farm a bit more droplets. Yeah, besides that, not really much to take into consideration, and her kit was already bad enough as is. Like I remember her having a full complete range collision, a strong attack kit, so with that in mind, he's definitely going to go up from C tier, and I'm going to put her up in at least B tier. Where though? That's a good question, because I wouldn't even know where to put her, because she is not that good of a character still, even after Resurrection, so at least around here. I mean, she is a droplet character similar to Toshiro, so yeah, I'll just leave her right around here. And that's pretty much it for Heart. Now, if I were to do one last adjustment, I do want to buff Ulquiorra, because I'm not gonna lie, I still was upset with how they made him, but now, after using him in Guild Quest, obviously that one time, he's a lot better than I thought, and I'm starting to appreciate his character a lot more, and considering I buffed Rukia not too long ago into SS, I'm gonna do the same thing for Ulquiorra. So, we may as well go ahead and do that. I don't know if I want to put him above Killgate, because Killgate still does work everywhere else, but of course in Guild Quest we do have better now, but we'll see. I'm just going to leave him right here where he is right now. I think Ulquiorra performs still very nicely in Guild Quest. Even outside of Guild Quest, he's actually not to use, really. Actually, I lied. I want to make one true last final adjustment to the Heart tier list, and I decided, after seeing Byakuya, how he was still able to get 52 seconds in Nightmare EX Guild Quest, and also around 54 seconds. Considering I did put Oetsu in SSS, I'm doing the exact same thing for Byakuya. He is like the only character that still has Frenzy 2 with a butt ton of cracked multipliers, and he is just so goddamn good in so many ways that, you know what, I think he warrants the spot now, officially. I've changed my mind. Yeah, he's really, really good still. Not as good as Ichigo, but like, he is able to stand alongside him. I still feel like he is missing all the perks that Ichigo has, such as having Long Stride, of course, the defeated enemy bonus, being able to provide a recharge and extra soul bumps, but like, he still stands really goddamn tall. Alright. And that's pretty much the tier lists updated. Now, some people are going to disagree with the list, especially with how I did lower down Yuha. But with that being said, let me know down in the comment section below. This tier list was made in mind with my own experience when it comes to using the characters and my knowledge of the game. So that's why I did have to start evaluating some characters with the way they are and whatnot. So, yeah, with that being said, thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys have enjoyed it, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next month's tier list, and we will update it by the time we get the mid-month characters for June. So take care, lads. Bye. Sayonara. Ciao, ciao.